Hi friends! What it's like to be a part of the class of 2020. At first, did not like the idea of graduating from home. It wasn't my favorite. All I wanted to do was cry when we found out that we were having a virtual commencement. And I mean, for obvious reasons, finding out that you're going to graduate virtually is a very upsetting kind of thing to find out. Like, no one wants to hear that they're going to be graduating virtually for their graduation when you're supposed to be walking and accepting your degree, diploma, whatever, from an instructor. It's depressing, if you want me to be honest. So then of course I go through all of these emotions, kind of like what you go through when you're in denial. It was sadness. I remember getting the email and we were cooking. Shannah and I were cooking and for a completely different video, and I had my phone out and the email open, and I text my two friends and I'm like, all I want to do is cry. So of course in that moment I'm gonna fight back tears because it's like, okay, this is just how it's going to be. This is a new normal, you know, you have to accept it. And then I had anger. Anger only for the fact that something really important was taken from me. And that was walking across the stage in front of my friends, my family, my loved ones, and being able to accept this great accomplishment. I then think the next feeling that I had was acceptance, because as we got closer and further into dealing with the pandemic, I was like, you know what? This is how it's going to be. You know, I can't change it. The neighbors can't change it. Your loved ones can't change it. Your friends can't change it. Like, no one can change that this is how we're going to graduate. And after talking about it with Shannah a little bit, she helped me realize that it's not my last. Like, this is my associate's degree. Obviously, as if I want to become a teacher, I can't teach with my associates. So I'm going to go on, get my bachelor's, work towards my master's, and then hopefully one day have my doctorate. And being grateful for the fact that it's not my last, because for some people this is their last. You know, they can finally go on and move on with their lives and they can go get jobs, and not saying that I can't get a job, but you know, this is their final step before they can apply to anywhere. And it's not for me. So that's one of the things that I have to realize and be grateful for, is that it's not my last. Tips. First things first, feel what you need to feel. Because, you know, me going from sadness to anger to acceptance, and then a little bit back to sadness, because it's a really important graduation to me, because I feel like that's the only way we can get through this entire thing as a whole, but most importantly for those who are graduating. You know, I allowed myself to be like, okay, this really sucks. I'm gonna be sad about it. And then the anger part, that even though it wasn't underneath my control, I still allowed myself to feel angry, because how could I not? You know, I was supposed to be walking across the stage to accept this great accomplishment. How was I not supposed to be angry that that was taken away from me? And then the acceptance part, yeah, it sucks. It really, really does. I feel wholeheartedly for the class of 2020 throughout the entire world, for the high school graduates, because this is also their last, which sucks because you only graduate from high school once. Overall, just feel what you need to feel, because allowing yourself to feel it and then moving on is going to allow you to realize that one, it's okay to feel what you need to feel, and two, we can't change it, unfortunately. There was a petition going around for allowing us Delaware Tech graduates to walk in the fall and have a fall commencement. Of course, that didn't get passed or pushed through because we're not really sure of the risks and etc, etc. My second tip, because I feel like this is something that people would be worried about, is because of what's going on right now, don't beat yourself up if you don't have a game plan for after graduating high school or graduating with your degree. Just don't beat yourself up if you don't have a plan. You know, everyone's plans got completely turned upside down. So no one knows what's next, what's not next, what they're supposed to do next, you know, how to move forward, because right now it's hard to move forward. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have a set in place plan for what you're gonna do next with your life. You know, I see all of these college commitments to UD and Del Tech and Del State and, you know, University of Michigan or Tennessee, you know, all these great colleges. And, you know, there are some people out there who don't have a plan. You know what? That's okay. Do I have a plan? Yeah, I do have a plan. September 8th, starting at Wilmington University. But it's okay if you don't have a plan. It's hard to have a plan after all of your other plans got completely turned upside down. So don't stress about whether you have a plan or not, because I'm sure a lot of people don't. Don't beat yourself up overall, and not only due to not having a plan, but just in the fact that, you know, you didn't have a graduation, or you didn't have a picnic to celebrate, or you didn't have X, Y, and Z to do. You know, that's not your fault. So don't be too hard on yourself. April 30th, I was supposed to buy my cap, gown, and tassel, and there was this great big picnic for all the DTCC graduates of 2020, and that got taken from me because at the time my sister's was held on the same day and I got to be there with her for hers, but I couldn't be at my own, and that sucked. But I know it's not my fault that I couldn't be there, or that we all couldn't be there. It's definitely a challenge of what we're going through right now, especially those who are graduating and moving on with their lives and trying to pursue their careers, which I can imagine would be really hard right now because we don't have jobs. You know, we don't have something to go to, someone to go to be like, hey, here are my skills, here's what I've learned, you know, here's my degree, I'm really interested in this job position. We don't have that, and it's hard. You know, right now for me, classrooms are on Zoom meetings. So as someone who has an associate's and someone who could be a paraeducator in the school, my position is now irrelevant. Because what does a distance learning model need a paraeducator for when all these kids are home? So it makes it really hard on us education students who just want a job in the world of kids and teaching and, you know, growth. I mean, yeah, there's daycares and stuff, but that could be really hard too, to try and find a job because, you know, daycares are open for kids, essential workers' kids. So, am I grateful that I got to graduate anyway? Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment that I'm not going to take for granted or beat myself up over because I didn't get to walk across the stage. Because now I have a plan set in place that 2020 graduates can walk across the stage and be a part of the 2021 graduation. So I mean, there's that to look forward to a year from now. I'm still grateful I got to turn this tassel around, or flip the tassel, or whatever. But don't be too hard on yourself. You know, it's not your fault. It's none of our faults. Continue to be there for each other, look out for each other, and just know that I'm right there with you. I feel what you need to feel. Let go of what you need to let go of. Cry it out if you need to. Let me tell you, it's healthy. I would be the one to know. But I guess my last final piece of advice for the class of 2020 is to stay strong. You know, we're gonna get through this together. So I guess that concludes my what it's like being part of the class of 2020. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow because... Wait for it. Wait. Wait. Quarantine.